There's literally a paperclip in my hair. The hell did that come from? Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Jacy, and today I'm gonna give you an embarrassing story of how I almost got scammed out of $2,000 on Craigslist. Basically, I was looking for a short-term housing rental, and I did end up finding one. As you can see by the bags packed behind me, I will be subletting an apartment this summer, but in the process, I learned a lot of things and almost got scammed out of a bunch of money on Craigslist. So if you're interested in hearing my story and kind of learning the mistakes that I made and learning from me, then just stay tuned. Alright, so let me set the scene in dramatic fashion. I was quarantined in my childhood bedroom in my parents' house for several months, and after a while you kind of just start stepping on each other's toes. Basically, I just wanted my own space for the summer to kind of just get away and really be alone for once. So I was looking for just a summer sublease, something short term, ideally furnished, something where I could just have my own space for just a few months. So naturally, my first inclination was to peruse Craigslist because that's where people go for rentals, right? So within the first day, I found, guys, just the most perfect apartment I could imagine. It was a studio apartment. It was beautifully decorated, open concept, beautiful kitchen, wonderful living room. Everything about it was just like sculpted by the Greek god of architecture, if there was one. And it was a studio where, get this, the coup de grace was that it was a whole 2 blocks away from the ocean. So I could literally see waves from my studio apartment bedroom. Everything about it was wonderful, but the best part, it was only $1,300 a month. Which, yeah, in hindsight, that should have been my clue that, yeah, this isn't real. Anyway, so $1,300 for this beautiful studio apartment. I was like, I have to get this. I have to jump on this right away. The listing had only been up for, I believe, 2 hours before I messaged the owners. So I messaged the renters and I told them a little bit about myself, what I was looking for, and asked for more details about the apartment. They sent back an extremely detailed list of all of the amenities and all of the agreements with this rental. So, they let me know that air conditioning was included, Wi-Fi, all utilities. There was on-site laundry with a washer and dryer in the unit. They let me know that towels and linens would be provided. There was a TV with cable and a DVD player. Refrigerator, dishwasher, microwave, ice maker, and even pets were allowed. Again, the dream apartment. But what I liked about their message was it had a little bit of a personal touch to it. So they did let me know the address of this apartment right away. And they also told me that, we're just looking for somebody responsible and respectful who will take care of our home as if it's their own. We care more about preserving the integrity of our home rather than giving it away to the highest bidder, which I really appreciated. Just a side note, this was all through text. When I had emailed them back from the Craigslist listing, I gave them my phone number, so they were able to contact me back through my text. And I thought it was kind of cool how they signed off every single text as, "Best regards, Michael and Tabitha." It really did give that personal touch and let me know that I was talking to a real human. So already right away I was kind of like, well, is this too good to be true? That gut instinct. So the first thing I responded with, just want to confirm, is this $1,300 a month or a week, and what are your lease terms? They got back to me again right away and let me know that yes, it was only each month, and they also required a $500 security fee, which was not applied towards the rental fee. It was more of a deposit that would be returned pending the day of my departure, that all of the amenities were in the quality that I left them in. And I was like, okay, that's standard. That sounds about right. So they also let me know that it would be a 6-month lease minimum, which I was kind of hesitant about because, again, I was just looking for something very short term, maybe like a 2 or 3 month lease just for the summer. But I was also thinking, this apartment is so banging, I cannot let this deal go to waste. I will move out for 6 months if it means I get this apartment. So at this point, I was already all in. I was dead set on getting this apartment. And embarrassingly, I already started telling all my friends and family about it. So, I had my heart set on this place to the max. I messaged them back and I said, I am extremely interested. I would like to move forward in the next steps. When can we set up some type of interview or virtual tour? This is where it kind of started to get a little sketchy. So I feel like when it comes to apartments like this, the number one rule of thumb is make sure you see the apartment before you give any type of money. So I asked for some type of virtual tour or at least a Zoom meeting to kind of like informally confirm identity. Mind you, this is during quarantine where, social distancing is required. So these Zoom meetings and these virtual, appointments were pretty standard by this time. They messaged me back and they let me know that they were unable to give me a tour because there was currently a tenant living in there who would be moving out at the end of the month, which made sense why they couldn't just go into somebody's living space and start giving me a virtual tour. However, what I thought was weird was they said, we can interview you on your move-in date as we wouldn't be able to do that right now. I don't know. I just think that, don't you want to know more details about me? Don't you want to know if it's just me, if I'm in a couple, if I have pets? Don't you want to know how much income I'm making or, why I'm moving, why I like your place? It just seemed really odd that they didn't have more questions for me. And there are just so many apps right now where, Zoom, FaceTime. I've been using one called House Party where it could have just been a 5-minute like, hey, this is my face, this is your face. All right, cool. You want to rent my place? Let's do it. So it just seemed a little weird that they were so resistant to that request. But nonetheless, that was just a red flag and I still really wanted this place. So I asked them, okay, do you have a rental agreement I could look over or perhaps an application I need to fill out? They messaged back, oh, of course we do. I'll email that your way, and if you could send that back to us ASAP, as there's a lot of interest in this place, we would need that right away. They email me this message. Let me read it. Kindly get back to me with the filled copy of the attached below application form if you are ready to secure/hold your dates interval so I can send you the lease agreement booking form alongside payment details ASAP because lots of interests are coming in for the property at the moment within those chosen dates interval. Not only is that just one complete run-on sentence, but I was a little taken aback at the lack of grammar and the lack of professionalism and more importantly, the urgency. I feel like one of the number one tips the internet could give you is that if they're asking for payment right away, it should be a red flag for you. But again, you guys gotta understand, I really wanted this place. It seemed perfect and I was doing this all on my own. And so I was like, all right, let me fill out this application. I open up the application and it was basically just a hastily thrown together Word document that I could have made in the 3rd grade. It was not official in the slightest. It just looked like they typed it up because I simply asked for it. The lines, you would have to delete the underlines and fill it in yourself. Just everything about it seemed really unprofessional and just thrown together. Hi friends, it's Editing Jacy. Sorry to interrupt, but as I'm putting together screenshots for this video, I'm looking back at this application form that they sent me and it's way worse than I thought. So one of the things it says is, do you have the payment with you? How soon can you pay the deposit? And lastly, do your bank account affiliated to Zelle money transfer /Venmo, Cash App? I don't know how I didn't realize this was such a scam when this doesn't even make grammatical sense and they're basically just asking me how soon I can send them money. I don't even know. But anyway, back to past Jacy. Mind you, I have never been through this process before. I've never had to sign a lease myself. And while I figured that, this seems a little sketchy, this isn't super professional, I also figured this may be their first time doing it. They may again not be going through super official platforms to get these paperwork signed. So I kind of just bit the bullet and filled it out. It was basic information. The only personal information they asked for was, my address and amount of income. But I felt okay that they weren't immediately asking for my bank account information, my social security number or anything like that. As soon as I sent it back, they texted me right away saying, "We will look over this thoroughly and send you payment details tomorrow." That's when I kind of knew, I think this is a scam. So my gut was telling me that this was not legit and I needed to do a little bit more research into this place before I give any type of financial payment. I Google image reverse searched. Is that how you say it? Image reverse searched their photos, and right away I was able to find this beautiful beach apartment listed on a vacation home rental site for not $1,300 a month. I believe it came out to about $1,300 a week, and it wasn't on a long-term basis. It was essentially kind of like an Airbnb where they only had certain nights and certain weekends open. So from that, I learned that, okay, they just took the exact description that they had emailed me from this vacation home rental site and is trying to pass it off as their own. I also looked through this vacation rental site into the reviews, kind of seeing if I could get a name or any type of confirmation. And all of the reviews, which were glowing, by the way, because this place is gorgeous, were saying that the owner, Lauren, was so wonderful. She was such an accommodating host. She lived right downstairs. It was wonderful. I was like, Lauren, I haven't been talking to a Lauren this whole time. Something's amiss here. So I did what the next logical step would be, was I messaged my Craigslist renters and I asked for proof of ownership. I simply asked, do you have anything that could prove your ownership? Whether it was a home deed, whether it was a piece of mail. I mean, I could do that right now in my own bedroom, that I live in my parents' home. Just something to prove that their names, Michael and Tabitha, were on the address listed that they had given me. That's all I asked. I also let them know that I would be in town in the next couple of days and wanted to drive by the place. I knew that because there was a tenant, I couldn't go into the apartment and give myself an informal tour. But I asked if they could just simply come outside and wave, just to kind of give an informal proof of identity. Pretty simple, right? Here's what they said. Let me read this bad boy to you. "Hi, Jacy. Sorry for the late response. All of a sudden, now their responses are late because I think they're panicking. But anyway. My work schedule would mostly permit me to meet with you on your move-in date so as to check you in appropriately. I do understand your priorities as regards to the rental platform," meaning like Craigslist is notoriously sketchy for scams of this sort. "We will never be any party to something that is not legit. Kindly be rest assured that I and my wife are sole proprietors of the home which we used to live in recent years until we decided to rent the home. We are high-profile personnel, and what matters most to us is our integrity." It's beautiful. "We stay for 4 blocks away from the property. Therefore, you don't have any problem renting from us. Also, you can always go ahead and view the home at your convenience time." Again, a lot of errors there in terms of grammar and spelling. And I think they were kind of just trying to distract me with the bullshit of where it the adjective for integrity? Integrity. We have integrity. What's the word for we have integrity? Anyway, they were trying to distract us from the bullshit and say that we have integrity and that you should not be concerned at all. They did nothing except dazzle me with their poetic words that they even owned the place. So not only did they not live there, they lived 4 blocks away and still didn't give me any type of option to drive by and wave to their place 4 blocks away. I don't know. That's just weird. To me, if you're renting out your place and the person's saying like, "Hey, this seems sketchy, prove me otherwise," you don't just go, no, don't worry. Trust me. No. So I messaged back and I said, "Hi." That's my passive-aggressive greeting. "Hi, comma. I just had some concerns because I found the property listed on other sites for only a nightly price, not a long-term basis. And the reviews were referring to the owner as Lauren. You guys aren't Lauren. I would feel more comfortable if I was provided some type of verification first." And I never heard from them again. Basically, I called them out on it. I let them know that I don't think you guys are really the owners. I have found this listing on other sites for a much higher price and not for the available dates, and you aren't doing anything to prove that it is your home and it is your listing on other sites. So once I caught them in the lie, they just stopped responding. So of course I took necessary steps to protect myself. I put a fraud alert on my credit card. They didn't get too much information in the sense of a bank account number, my social security, my birthday, the name of my first pet or anything like that. But I was still concerned that, they did have my address, they had my name, that sort of thing. So I put a fraud alert on my credit card, and I went ahead and flagged their Craigslist ad to make sure that the Craigslist moderators knew that this was a scam and that they would potentially get other victims. Overall, they did ask for $1,800 as a payment through Venmo. So they said that that would be first month's rent plus the $500 security fee, and that they would need that as soon as possible to secure my spot because there was so much interest in this property. Overall, I'm super happy that I didn't get that far, but I am pretty disappointed I let it get as far as it did, especially when I had, like my friends and family messaging me like, oh, I want to come visit you, like, how's the place, did you get it? It's kind of embarrassing being like, not only did I not get it, but it wasn't even real. So overall, yes, mistakes were made, and I regret letting it get as far as it did. But I hope that you can learn from these mistakes and, use these as tips to kind of prevent yourself from getting scammed. So in the future, if you're looking on Craigslist to rent a place or, get a sublease or just a short-term or long-term rental, really do your research, make sure that it is a legit listing, that they have proof of ownership, and that you either meet the renters in person or you see the place in person before any type of exchange of money. If you are going to be paying to live there, the owner should be doing everything they can to assure you that it is a safe transaction, that they are the sole proprietors of the property, as these fraudsters so claim, and that they do everything they can on their part to prove their integrity. So that was a brief story time on how I almost got scammed out of $1,800, but in the long run, it did work out because I am subletting a beautiful apartment this summer in Los Angeles. So stay tuned for my moving vlog and tips on how to sublet in the future, because that video is coming really soon as I'm about to pack up my car and head to LA for the summer. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Stay tuned for some future videos on my channel. Now that I have my own place for the summer, I don't feel as, shy filming in my bedroom while my parents are outside eating cookies or whatever. So I'm definitely gonna up my production, so I hope you'll stick around and enjoy them with me. Toodles! Honestly, if I sent them the money, I probably wouldn't have told anyone. I would have been so embarrassed. Where the hell did this paperclip come from?